Hi, this is Glen. I knew you'd be calling me, that's why I didn't answer. Just leave a message, and then I'll eventually call you back. That's how we millennials work. Alright, bye.
Glenn, hurry up. The movie's about to start. You always do this. You're always late. What are you doing? Call me back. God, this man, he's always fucking late. I don't get it. Glenn, where are you? What are you doing? Where are you?
Yeah.
I don't see you. Where are you?
I'm here.
Why are you speaking all gravelly? What's wrong with your voice?
Oh, told you, I'm here. I'm right here, Mike.
Are you dead?
I wish. On the inside, I feel like it.
Oh, you want to go see Night House?
I do.
Let's go.
Taking place in a lakeside house all alone, we follow the story of Beth, whose husband just committed the ultimate amount of Sudoku. While grieving in her home, each passing day she seems to be haunted by something. Whether a ghost or the ghost of her husband's Christmas past, because he gave her all the presents of this story, this movie, this haunting.
Welcome back, everybody, to Keystone Film Review. With the newest review, a few movies came out this week, but none of them looked good except for The Night House, and that is what we saw. Glenn,
Yes.
again, we always forget to bring this up.
Always do.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about The Night House?
Yes, the Night House is... A widow begins to uncover her recently deceased husband's disturbing secrets.
Yeah, starring Rebecca Hall, Sarah Goldberg, Vondi Curtis Hall, and Evan Jonigkeit, or Honeyspeed as I like to call him.
Yeah, Mr. Honeyspeed,
And it's directed by David Bruckner, who directed, I found out earlier today, The Ritual, the movie with Rafi Spall, and a bunch of other people who I
That's a
just
good
can't
movie.
remember right now. But yeah, I really like that. I was more excited about this. That mosquito's still in here, that motherfucker.
Murder his life.
I'm gonna murder him. But yeah, this is it's a ghost house type movie.
Yep.
Glenn, what did you think of it?
I felt a deep connection with this movie. Way more than I thought I would or ever could have, honestly. The the main character is the most sarcastic person in the world.
Rebecca Hall.
Rebecca Hall. And I've never felt a deeper connection with a person in a movie. Almost to a T. When this, besides, her trying to, like, ghost hunt, which, I mean, if I'm being real, if some shit like that happened, I'd probably, out of curiosity, would do the same.
Yeah.
I'd like to not admit that, but I probably would.
Yeah.
I'm white. I'm sorry. It comes with the territory.
It comes with the territory. We all
but-
say we don't believe in ghosts, but if random shit started happening, we'd be like, "Are you there?"
I know you're fucking here. Swigs a drink. Rebecca Hall was great, and honestly, it felt like if, and you even said this, it was like if I was the personality inside of your wife's body, which sounded weird coming out of
Sounds
my
weird.
mouth.
Yes, I should have been the one to say that. But my wife kind of looks like Rebecca Hall. Not like,
not to a T.
yeah, like she pale with brown hair and tall.
And tall.
Rebecca Hall, I feel, is like not super tall, but like she's not 5'2". Actually, how tall is Rebecca Hall?
She's got to be at least 5'10".
Yeah. So yeah, just when he said
But,
that,
yeah.
I was like, oh, it's the perfect combination. Your personality in my wife's body. But yeah, it's it was kind of weird. She is 5'10". You fucking nailed it.
She looks taller than 5'10", too. I was just
She
kind of
does,
averaging
yeah.
it.
No, I mean, tall people around short people look taller than they are.
It's tall and skinny, too. If they're
yeah.
skinny, they usually look taller.
Yeah. I'm tall and fat and look shorter because I'm tall and fat, but I look like a fucking linebacker, as I've been told many times. But yeah, so seeing this was kind of weird for me in a different way for you because she does kind of look like my wife. Not when you're like it's close up on her face, but when it's from far away, she kind of has the same mannerisms as my wife too. And
definitely from the, like a certain angle, like it's
yeah,
I could see it a lot too.
So seeing her in peril and in some instances being strangled. We'll not go further than that. I was just like, this is a weird experience for me. But this movie, there were so many times where I thought it was going to go basic bitch on us. Like just a basic like horror movie, and then it changed things, and we can get into more if we do spoilers.
Yeah, we'll do that later.
But then it would turn away from what is the normal trope, and I found myself many times being like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like this movie, because and then it would change something, and I'd be like, wow, what they came up with instead was a lot cooler than what I thought it would be. That being said, the overall mystery of it, I kind of called from like 30 minutes in. That's not to say that it's bad or like poorly hidden or poorly written or anything. It's if you're looking for answers, it's kind of obvious, but it's also not the kind of thing where you're going to be disappointed if you're able to guess it. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
It was a very easy ride for the most part. It didn't really get any type of spoopy in any way for a good hour or so.
Well, the first 10-15 minutes are kind of spoopy.
Yeah, I mean,
but then
it gently eases you into what is the final product eventually. And even the end product isn't even that. It's not really spoopy. It's more psychological than it is spoopy.
Yes.
So what they did do with a lot of like, say there was let's say there's a ghost in the movie. What they did a lot with it is like they did a lot of angles to make it look like there was a person there, or like objects like in the form of a human being or something like that, or like a figure, shall I say. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And like how like different they came up with different ideas for different angles and such. And I really enjoyed that, and I wish they did more of that.
Yeah.
But they did do a lot at the last portion of the movie.
Yeah, it definitely amped up towards the end. One thing I will say is people who live in houses with lots and lots and lots of windows and at night do nothing to cover those windows, y'all are insane.
Yeah, you're weird.
You're dumb. You're asking to be spied on, and you're asking for ghosts to just look at you through the window.
What if you just want a glass of milk naked?
Yeah, but that's always a thing, and I understand that in horror movies they do that to make you feel uneasy. But there are people out there that love big windows and do nothing to cover them up. Absolutely nothing. And
freaking
I really don't understand it, because I can't even make eye contact with windows at night. I just look at the floor. And I'm like, if I die, I die, but I'm not going to see it coming.
This is my fate.
This is my fate. But yeah, this did a really good job at making you feel uneasy. But like you said, it doesn't really dig into like the ghost aspect until later on. It's up until then, it's all like, oh, she's dreaming and stuff. There's explanations for what she's seeing.
It's kind of like a little
making you doubt that it's real.
Kind of like a little mystery going on.
Yeah.
with her husband, which isn't a spoiler. Trying to figure out what's going on. So it's kind of a mystery. She's running around doing all this investigative shit. She's like, did my husband do these things, or am I gonna just sarcastically yell at everybody? Which is I'm okay with. And then it eased into strapping you into some light choking and ghostly hauntings and maybe such.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll spoil that now.
Yes. Yeah. So let's get into some spoilers. Spoilers. So the parts that kind of like started going one way and I hated it, and then it changed and I loved it. The very first one, it happened a lot in the last 20 minutes or so. And I probably look like a junkie with all the itching I'm doing, but I see a mosquito and it's making my brain think I'm itchy.
It's also a little humid too.
It is a little humid.
Get it off me.
Get it off. But yeah, the last 20 minutes is where it kind of amps up with the very first part. Like she kind of realizes that her husband's ghost is there, and you think it's going to turn into Ghost, where they're just going to bang or something. And I was like, oh, God. She just found out, we're in the spoilers already, she just found out that her husband's a serial killer, and she's on board with him being there again.
She's on board with his board being
on board with his board, and I
board.
know she's still grieving, but I'm also like, if I found out someone I loved was a serial killer, I would just be like, fuck.
Oh, fuck that
I would
guy.
not be happy to see them ever again.
Yeah, not in the literal sense. Oh, fuck that guy's ghost. I'm gonna do that now. No, just leave.
But yeah, then again, that was also then like she says his name, which is Owen, and then you hear the voice say, "I'm not Owen," and that's when I was just like, "Oh shit, that's really good."
That was really
that is
good.
a really cool spot. But the him being a serial killer is what I was talking about earlier. With it's not really a twist because it's not portrayed as a twist, but it's something that I saw coming from like the 30-45 minute mark, and it was still done really well and kind of build up to it really well. But there were enough hints there, which I was able to kind of put together and kind of realize what he was doing. He was doing kind of like a Winchester mansion type thing where he was building a house to confuse his victims.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of pictures of women that looked kind of like her in there. I was like, oh, he's killing these women and trying to trap their souls in that house. And it was really impactful the way they did it. I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
I really liked it. It felt, and I don't want to compare this. I'm not doing that right now. It felt
we
like
compare a lot.
Yeah, but this is like the closest kind of representation of it. It felt like a little, lack of a better word, watered down Hereditary, where it like got you step by step to this big final thing when she finds the bodies and stuff like that, and that's when it starts getting kind of like escalating more than it was for like the first hour of investigating and stuff like that. And that's when it starts to ramp up. She put all the puzzle pieces together, and now she's going to find some shit out and talk to some ghosts now. Like, that's some crazy shit that's going to happen.
I talk to some ghosts.
It's time to talk to not Owen.
Yeah.
And that's when it picks up. And there's a lot that I like. Jesus, there was a lot that I definitely liked about this movie. I didn't think I was going to like it. I went into it like kind of like, okay, well.
I didn't even see a trailer going into it.
Yeah, I don't think I did either.
I knew it was Rebecca Hall. I knew it had higher ratings than Reminiscence or Protégé, which is why I wanted to see it. And also Reminiscence didn't really interest me at all. It really surprised me for something that I was expecting nothing from. Like I said, it every time you found it, it was backed into a corner with a trope that was bound to happen. It found a way out of it, which I really liked. There was a lot of really cool imagery in this too. Like you said, a lot of the time you would see ghosts, the shape of a person in like the architecture of the house.
Yeah, whether it be like picture frames like lined up at a certain point, or like a pillar and like the little notch in the pillar would be like a different shape every time. It'd be really cool. And I wish there was just a little bit more of that, but I mean, there was a good chunk of it.
Yeah, there's the most impactful one was in the very beginning of the movie, I felt. And that one was kind of tropey with like the opening of a door and you saw the reflection in the door, but the shape was also there before the door. It was a glass door and you saw the shape in the window before and so it was always there, and it was even still there after she shut the door. Unlike other things where they see a shadow that looks like a person, and then it's Coates, and when they reveal that it's Coates, it doesn't look like a person at all.
It's not the Coates, Karen.
Yeah.
What's going on?
So the shapes always looked like humans, and even the pillar that you were mentioning, when they cut away from. Like, when she realized there was no one there, the notch in the pillar still looked like a human face. So, like, it wasn't just, she's making these things up in her head. It's like, no, they looked like that shit, which I really appreciated. I also really liked the avoidance of the suicide trope.
I didn't know how I felt about that, honestly.
Yeah?
kind of wished it happened, but at the same time, I'm glad it didn't, because it also made it seem more psychological than it did for sure a ghost or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because at the end, this is what it pretty much is. It's a psychological thing. She's just being haunted by her brain and, you know, thoughts of
Yeah, and I think
like
that
going back to death or
yeah,
stuff like that.
I think that is why I liked the ending, is because it acknowledged that
Yeah.
she acknowledged that it was all in her head and that she could seek help, and it was essentially her
Yeah.
finding help. This person that, like, you know, she's looking at houses and she falls asleep, and then when she wakes up, she's looking at guns. Someone that's deeply disturbed and obviously has suicidal thoughts. It's really just a journey of finding or recognizing that you need help and go asking for the help.
Yeah.
Because throughout the entire movie, she refuses help. People offer it all the time, and she like blatantly refuses it in a sarcastic way.
In
that
a
you do.
very sarcastic way.
And then at the end is just accepting the help. So, like, I'm sure it was intentional, but it really becomes like this message of, like, recognizing when you're not well mentally and seeking help for that. And, you know, that it's just it's that story told through a ghost story. How'd you get it?
I fucking got that.
No, you didn't. It's right there.
Where are you in?
Why won't you die? But yeah, I really like that it's not like a message that punches you in the face. I honestly didn't even make that connection until I started talking about it. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's really cool that
No,
it is that message.
It is for sure really cool.
Yeah.
It was a much better movie than I anticipated in any
Same.
sort of manner. And Rebecca Hall's just in so many horror movies. I love her so much.
And I can't think of any other ones.
Specifically loved her in this one because she was just me, but more beautiful and a lady.
Yeah, I got nothing else to say. You just want to rate it.
I think so.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think there were a few pacing problems, but nothing too out of the ordinary. I'm really between a 3.5 or a 4. I want to lean more 3.5 because it didn't wow me.
Yeah.
That might change going forward, but right now I'm going to say 3.5.
Yeah, I was thinking 3.5 too. I think the first, like, you know, two thirds. The first, Jesus, first
Two
two,
acts.
the first 2 acts, the pacing was a little slow. There was a lot of investigating going on, a lot of questioning, a lot of being sarcastic, which I loved, but it did halt it just a little bit. But I think overall, as a movie, I think it was solid. I think it was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely the best movie that came out. Well, I'm assuming it's the best movie that came out this week.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, if you go see it, expect an understated horror movie. It's not anything like your standard. There's not a lot of jump scares. I think there's only like 1 or 2. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, I've even seen it in theaters. I don't know, like, if this is, like, really a movie theater movie. Like, you don't have to see this at the... This is, like, maybe a sit at home.
There was a lot of really cool sound stuff, so I would suggest seeing it in the theaters.
Upgrade your stereo system. How about that?
Yes. But yeah, if you can't see it in theaters, do it. If not, you're not going to miss too much, but there's a lot of really cool sound stuff. Invest in surround sound, people. I cannot stress that enough. It is great. I love surround sound.
Who doesn't?
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye!